وذكر فإن الذكرى تنفع المؤمنين.
First of all, we're talking now about cutting the hair, which is the right way to cut the hair, or for men and women in general. And whether or not there is something forbidden for us is haram in cutting the hair, or what is mubah, what is allowed in cutting the hair. Normally when people ask in the Arabic language, say halq al-sha'r, it is normally taken as shaving the head. So shaving the head in general for the woman, in accordance to Jumhur al-Ulama, most of the scholars among Imam Shafi'i, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, they have said that this is makruh. But also some of the scholars under all those three madhahib and Imam Malik, they said this is haram, clearly haram to shave the hair. And this is most likely is the proper standing, which the fact that it is haram because of the words of Rasulullah ﷺ, and the fact that he forbade women from shaving their hair in Hajj, which is the most important time. If it was allowed, it should have been done in Hajj. But he told ليس على النساء حلق إنما على النساء التقصير. There is no halq, shaving on women, but indeed on women they should just reduce the hair, which is halq, just shortening the hair, like cutting off the hair. تقصير. Based on that, many scholars took it that shaving is not good, in addition to some other reasons. That shaving the hair is considered tashwih أو مثلى للمرأة, meaning it takes away her beauty, and it in fact it is very much like mutilations in a sense of cutting parts of a person's, like to just take the hair off completely, that changes the face and changes the appearance, and it isn't proper. And this is for married and not married women, all the same. Just to put it, for shortening the hair we'll have to put there is a little bit of references for married and not married, but in general for cutting fully the hair of the woman is unacceptable. When we say takrih, so the scholar that said makruh, they have said the word makruh on the basis that it's makruh tahriman, which is makruh to be forbidden in the sense. But also all of them have made it haram if the purpose of this was to look similar to men. So that if that the intention also, or the reason for why the hair is being cut this way has something to do with the rulings. So if the intention was to look like men, so in general any man or any woman who makes their hair to look like the opposite sex, then this is forbidden. It doesn't matter man or woman. The rule are the same for both, so any similarity would be totally forbidden. Now we come down to the fact that when would you actually shave the hair? Yeah, it's possible to shave the hair for medication, for hijama, for some sickness that could be there, that one can maybe suffer from, and the only way is to cut the hair for a period of time or all the time. Whichever reason, this would have to be done. And if the woman is married, of course, will be done with the agreement with the husband and for the best interest of the woman. In this case, we say mubah lil-darura, is allowed because of necessity. So the necessity that has been measured, and also necessity must be measured accordingly. So if you're supposed to make hijama only in the bottom of the hair of the woman, then the hair could be lifted up and shaving only the part and taking care of this part without having so you cannot shave all the head just because you have to deal with a small part of it, as long as you can cover it up after, so that it does not look like totally changing the face and changing the way one would appear. So and that's why we say الضرورة تقدر بقدرها. So necessity must be measured in accordance with the need, not to go in excessiveness. I think that covered totally shaving the hair. Now comes to cutting the hair. for men and for men, of course, for shaving the head, حلق الشعر للرجل, shaving the hair for a man, of course we know that in Hajj we do that, and the whole head totally equally is no problem in this sense. In this case, for men, shaving the head total complete, so that's fine, and that's unique to men. So there are certain things unique to women, certain things unique to men. So for men, that's fine. Also, that very long hair that comes for the woman, that makes her look like a woman. In case of somebody sees that that's for woman, then also men should not make themselves look like this by having very, very long hair. Leaving the hair a bit long, a bit here or there, that is not the issue. And that Rasul certainly did not talk against. In fact, he himself used to leave his hair at times a little bit long, but not that long. It's reasonably like many of the youth do as well these days. Now comes to the problem would be with men and women also in general. When you cut your hair, but you cut your hair not shaving it, but you cut your hair like shortening it, but cutting it in a different levels from different places on your head. Whether from the sides and the back, you shave it completely and you leave it in the top, or you shave it in the back and you leave it in the front, or you shave it in the front and you leave it in the back, or you shave it in the side and you leave it in the other side. It doesn't matter which way you do it. Or you make graphic on your head and you make writings and all those things. Somebody, alaykum salam wa barakatuh. All this is not acceptable. All this would be haram, as part of the symbol of this was called about qaza. And also Rasulullah have said when he saw a young boy who the parents cut his hair from the back and left in the front, he said either you shave it all, you cut it all, or you leave it all, but you cannot do a little bit here and leave a little bit there. So gradual cutting the hair from the top down, no problem about it, and how gradual as long as it is going there. So all these kind of new things, some of those issues. So in general, what would be haram? If a man tried to look like a woman, or a woman tried to look like a man. So a woman can cut her hair short, not too short. She can trim it, she can make it even, she can look at the hair's health, like by cutting the edges of the hair to get to beautify herself and look in the best possible way. No problem with that. The scholar went as far as what Shaykh bin Baz said, cutting the hair, we don't know about this, like we have nothing in relation to this. Some have said that the wives of Rasulullah used to cut their hair حتى يكونوا كالوفرة. الوفرة, which means the hair would be all the way to the bottom, لحمة الأذن, to the as the level with not higher than that, lower than the ear.
That's maximum.
That's maximum, that to shorten the hair. So this would be taken as a level, but although you can't measure, it would be better. I would look myself as to be right with your chin. That it would be much better for the woman to look as a woman, not to start looking like a man, even if she doesn't intend. If she intended by even cutting it all the way here to look like a man, that's no good. That's the intention itself will make it haram. It doesn't matter how it is. But if she says no, she's a woman and she looks like a woman and she wanted to leave it, but she's going to make it that short, okay, that would be the maximum level that for shortening the hair. What else?
We said about the man doing hair.
Oh, but that we said that all the shapes, Rasulullah, you've seen somebody with his hair looks like horns. You know, that a man appeared on him and they looked like horns. So he didn't even want to talk to him. He just told him like, go fix your hair by his hand. That just go, because he looked, you know, like وَالْعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ shaitan, like you know, Satan. That we also should not make those kind of appearances that are irregular, that we think we're going out the space. There is no space. There is only shaitan and man. So it doesn't matter which place you go to the space. If there are any human being, it's going to be a human being. It's not going to be anything else. If we lost them sometimes somewhere else and beamed up to other planet without knowing. So we have to understand this is the way it is. Any other appearance, it will be from shaitan. وَالْأَمْرُ أَنَّهُمْ and I shall order them so that they will change the creation of Allah. ليبدلن خلق الله. So they would get the people to be confused with themselves. You can comb your hair this way, that way, in the middle, in the side, in the back, and that's fine. You can put all your hair to the back. You can put all this. You're free. You can cut it in a nice way. You can leave it naturally as it is, just coming in the down and coming to the front. All this is fine, as long as you still look like the man, and for the man, and for the woman would still look like a woman, and you leave it and you take care of it. The minute you find yourself that people can't recognize you anymore, whether you're a man or a woman, you better be careful, and you better have to get yourself checked out in how to take care of your hair.
What about coloring the hair? Red, yellow, green?
That would be part of changing the hair, but the coloring in the hair at the older age of the white hair, this Rasul has ordered that. There was reasons also for this. There were orders about black. Then they said, well, the hadith is not exactly strong, or that this other hadith came to do tread, that stay away from black and go with the humra, like with henna and other colors. But there are so much talk about that. I don't want to just get anybody confused in this, but the whole idea was at that time that everybody used to go to war. Everybody, it doesn't matter the age, all the way till Rasul passed away at the age of 60s. He was still going in and engaging in war. So with the Sahaba Kiram, with him, they were older people and they were going to fight. So that for the Sahabi not to be targeted by someone that is an old man, is not going to be able to stand, and you get a young people to go after him. The beard would be the best sign to tell the age, because the beard shows the white hair much faster than any other place. So having to leave the beard white at that age was recommended by Rasul to change the color. So at times there was the black, which is the black would look exactly like for the youth. That was most probably at the time of war. This is what I really personally believe. At the time of war, and this is why in the regular time it came the idea about having the red colors and all the other grades, not necessarily black, but a bit of grade of it, like a bit of gray, a bit of reddish kind of color. That's fine. So this came about, I assume, when there was reasonable peace, there was reasonable time to change. So still elder look elder, and young people look young people, but still the clear white hair would not be there. But there are so many hadith about the person who has the white hair also as being something good, that he had his white hair in Islam, and that if he raises his hand to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah would not let his hand down without an answer, and so on. All those kind of different hadith also, almost tawatur in that sense, about raising the hands and asking Allah and so on. That there is a certain connection when somebody grows in Islam and respects the rules of Allah and have the taqwa and have reached a certain age, that this also there is some respect to it. So still though, this is part of the sunnah, and when somebody does it, it's something good. There's nothing wrong about it. So nobody can claim the contrary. But what happens these days is, you see young people 40, 45, the minute they see one white hair coming out or something, they start working so hard to put the black dyes in the hair, in the beard, or they don't even have the beard, but rather they shave the beard and they put the black dyes in the hair, and then they relate that this is Islam. That's not Islam. Because when we talk about Islam, either take it all or don't claim that the part that you are doing of the hair is Islamically, but the rest I'm not saying. Because the more priority would have been that you leave a bit of your beard, at least I say, for somebody that does not want to have a long beard going to work and so on, and maybe afraid of backlash or some reaction to it. Fine, you leave a small beard and you have it, and if it becomes all white and you wanted to change the color, I can understand that, and with the hair and the beard. But if you shave your beard and you only put the dyes over your head and the hair, I think he's still looking to look yeah, right. You try to reduce your age still in the wrong time, in the wrong place. So that might actually be fitna for you. That might actually be, you are just setting yourself up to make mistakes, and that's what. And then therefore, It would be better though than one will look the way he is, and the best is to follow the sunnah. To get your beard there and you get everything, and when it becomes white or major white, is not gray or something, you can start to change the color a little bit. There is no problem.
And for the woman, it's no problem for the colors.
The woman also to look good and to look beautiful in front of her husband. There is nothing against this at all. Changing the color, yeah, we have to be very careful about few points that we maybe add before we finish with that. If we say the woman can shorten her hair, that doesn't mean to go to a coiffeur and another man will cut her hair and we have to understand all this would have to be done within also the legality of what is halal and haram. Not to do something we say this is halal, but in order to do it you have to make haram, then it is haram. So we have to, just put things in perspective.
And for a man, for a woman.
So a man should not get his hair cut by a woman, or a woman should get her hair cut by a man. We say even for a doctor of opposite sex is normally out of real necessity that there is no other one and that there is no possibilities and so on. And even if he has to see a woman, he's not supposed to just uncover her like they do here in hospitals and everywhere. I actually spoke with at times to give some of the sensitivity treatments of a Muslim woman when they come to hospital to doctors, and I explained to them, and the doctors themselves and the nurses, they really liked what I said because they made a serious comment about the fact that most women who are not used to this kind of rules, they just come and they undress and they go there, lie down, and they wait for the doctor to check them up. This is not proper. He locked himself. So
Chef, sorry, I think I missed what you mentioned about like different levels, like let's say the sides and the back being shorter than the rest.
No, like shaving it then leaving it. So like a steps,
but trimming, like let's say,
or trimming it so short and then leaving another level. That's not. This is what.
And if it's not obvious, like.
Because
there are times that, like, if you look at a barber, like, it won't be obvious that, like they'll make it so that, for example, the sides and the back are slightly shorter than the rest of the hair. But
no, if it is gradual, there is no problem about it. It is when it appears to be to different levels.
Okay.
That's what so it doesn't matter how short one is over the other, but when it looks like it's like a different level. Necessity. That what our scholars said, that you put a blanket, and the blanket would have a hole for the area that the doctor is supposed to check on, not to see all the body just because he has to reach there. So imagine that, so that was the doctor. What about just somebody that is doing something that is unnecessary or something mubah? Is not. This is needed. A doctor is a treatment, but something mubah to shorten the hair and then you get somebody else to do it, no go at all. So have to be very careful. It has to be the husband who will help to do this. It also, for a married woman, she should not just go cut her hair without talking with her husband, because the husband being clean, being in good shape, being taking care of himself is important, because his wife has a right over him, and the wife also being clean and being in a good looking and doing things. Yes, it's her right, but also the husband has a right over it in Islam. In that sense, meaning there is some kind of cooperation, and in order to try to always follow hygienes and to be clean and to relate to one another, and the appearance they share together on it. So they have to take mashura, and it has to be with an agreement, and maybe he can cut her hair himself. He can help her with that. And that's it. Thank you.